everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Preeti and I garden here in Zone 6 in Toronto, Canada, and I wanted to share with you a couple of interesting shrubs that I'm going to plant in my garden. And the first one I want to talk about is this variegated silver dogwood. I already have a couple of these in my garden, and I found another one that I wanted to add to my garden. I like repeating shrubs that I like in the garden, especially this one, because I love the variegated foliage on this plant. It is really pretty and really nice and bright and contrasting against these nice dark burgundy stems. So I'll read you the tag, what the tag basically has on it. So this one is it is a Silverleaf Dogwood, and it's by Simply the Best. This is just kind of a brand, I guess, that grows this shrub, and this one here is basically an excellent choice to add interest to your garden all year long, and especially winter interest. Like I find with dogwoods, the color of the stems and the architecture that they offer in the garden looks really pretty against the snow. So with spring, it brings small white blossoms, and then later on you get these beautiful white berries on it. And the summer foliage is a minty green with a margin of white. And during the winter, the bright red stems, they stand out in the garden. So the size of the shrub is 8 feet by 8 feet, which is a good size. I mean, it's gonna get really tall, and you could probably keep it size controlled by keeping it trimmed, but it's a good size if you want to use it in the back of your border or even as an accent plant in your garden. It would look really nice, and it does like part shade, which is what I'm planning to do with this one. I'm planning to put it in a part shade as part of my shade garden, just to add something that is going to add a good amount of height and texture and variegated brightness in the shade garden. So again, for pruning, you have to prune it while it's dormant. So the best time to prune it would be in early spring before it starts leafing out. And I think with dogwoods, either you can give them a hard prune or you can prune them by a third every year. So it really depends on how you want the stems to look. The older the stems get, the darker brown, more brown they get in color. So as you can see over here, this is an older stem, which is a darker color compared to the bright red of the new growth. So it depends the kind of look you want from this shrub, and really you have to make sure that it sits in well-drained soil and allow it to dry between watering. It does not love to sit in water. So yeah, and you can fertilize it in the spring, but these shrubs are pretty hardy, and as you can see, when they are filled with foliage, it really does look pretty. So this particular shrub, when I picked it up, it was like, I think the last one left on clearance, and I really liked how it had a very nice arching presence. As you can see, it has nice arching branches, which I really liked on this one. And it also had some berries on it. I don't know if they fell off, but they were really pretty white berries, and they may have fallen off on the shrub here, but I was going to show you. So okay, so here is like a couple of berries that are left on the shrub. So they are a really pretty, like, white colored berry. I'm going to try to focus on the berry a bit so you can see it. So there it is. It's really stunning against the white variegation on the leaf and the red branching. Really pretty, attractive shrub. Like I said, I'll show you the couple other ones that I already have in my garden, and I'm really liking them. They're only planted this year, so lots to come in the years ahead, but very pretty shrub. So this is the one that I wanted to show you, and the other shrub that I got was this really beautiful Summersweet. So this is a Ruby Spice Summersweet. What I like about this one is I have another Summersweet that I ordered, which is a native plant, and I already planted that in my garden. But what I liked about this one is this is also a native, but the color on the flowers is a beautiful ruby pink, which is really, really nice. And what's good about this one is also that it can tolerate a lot of shade. So I will focus in on this tag and I'll show you what the tag says. So this one is a Ruby Spice. This plant is also called a Clethra alnifolia, and it can grow in both sun and part shade, and from what I read, it can also grow in a good amount of shade. So the height would be around 5 feet and the width would be around 4 feet. So basically the foliage turns a really nice yellow in the fall, and then sweetly scented pink flowers, they appear sometime in summer. So it's a good shrub to have in the summer when a lot of the shrubs like ninebarks, lilacs and other shrubs are done flowering, to have something that will flower in the summer. And the flowers do not fade to white, so they stay a pink color all throughout summer. As you can see, this is like one of the flowers that are done flower sorry about that, I had to clear my throat. So this is what the flower looks like, and as you can tell, the shrub bloomed a lot in the summer, and really pretty, different shape of the flowers, and I think it's going to be a really pretty shrub once in bloom. And it is also turning a nice golden yellow fall color, which is nice. If you want to underplant some orangey or red plants around it, it would look really nice when the colors change in the fall. And what's also good about it is that the flowers are very nicely scented. So if you put it near your porch or your patio, it would smell really nice, this plant. And what I like is that it's a native plant to North America, and very excited to add this shrub to my garden. This is the Ruby Spice Summersweet. And also, what's the other thing to note about this plant, it may sucker a little bit if it's happy and create a little colony, but you can cut off or dig out those suckers if you don't want multiple of these, or you could pot them and plant them in another location. But it's a really nice shrub to have, and it's already a good size. I think it's about at least 4 feet tall, so I think it's a good size to get right away in the garden. And where I'm planning to put this is near my patio, more in a part sun location, because I'm trying to now add shrubs that are going to add you know, interest in the part shade garden, and that's what I'm trying to fill, because I feel those areas are quite bare and could use a lot of interest in them. And if these shrubs are hardy enough to survive that, it would be amazing to have them in the more part shade location. So yeah, these are the two shrubs I'm adding to my garden, and I wanted to share them with you today, and I'm excited to get them in the ground. And once I have them planted, I'll show you what these look like in my garden. Here it is. I wanted to show you where I planted the Ruby Spice Summersweet, and this is kind of an entry into my shade garden and near my patio. So I thought this would be a really nice shrub to add here, because it will do really well in partial shade, and also it's going to have a very nice fragrance and pretty pink flowers in the summer. So I think this will be a great spot for it, and I'm slowly trying to like develop a little entryway into the shade garden, and I plan to kind of create like a little path here next year. So I think this will be a great shrub to ground this section here, and I will next year add some other shade plants, shade plants at the bottom of the shrub. So this can kind of be one of those focal point shrubs in this location, and I like the fact that it's going to bloom into summer and carry on into fall, and then it's going to have this really nice fall interest with the yellow leaves, with the bright gold yellow leaves. So yeah, I think it is going to look really nice here. And I also wanted to show you that I ended up picking up 2 more of these to echo some of this on the other side, because I think it's a great shrub. If it works in this spot shade location, it will be a really nice shrub to add, and it's native, and I kind of found these at a really good price, and I picked up 2 more to add to the other side of my shade garden, and I'll show you what I'm planning to do over there. I picked up 2 more of these shrubs. I'm going to add them. There is a little section in the middle over here which doesn't have any grass growing, and nothing grows because of the shade of the trees. So I'm trying to establish a little bit of a bed here so that I can have some framework ready for next year when I do start to plan out this area and evolve it. So what I did was I am going to plant 2 of these sweet meadow shrubs, the ruby spice over here, because I like, if they end up growing in this area, I think they'll be really beautiful with the wispy flowers, and just even the foliage is really pretty and very green and almost tropical looking. So I really like the foliage. Even if it didn't flower as well in the shadier spot, I think just for the foliage these shrubs will do really well. And it's also quite close to my patio, so it'll be a nice plant to have to give me this beautiful sweet scent in the summer. And I also got a couple of Little Henry Iteas which were also on clearance, that I will post a link to the video where I talk in detail about these plants. I planted 1 more on the other side of my shade garden not too long ago, and I ended up picking up 2 more because they were further reduced and on clearance. So the reason I like these as well is because they can tolerate a bunch of shade and really pretty fall foliage. Like, look at this reds and burgundies on this plant. And the bonus is that they do have these pretty white flowers in late spring. They almost look like fireworks. So I'm excited to see what the flowers will look like on this. If this shrub does establish in this location and thrives, it will be a good one to have here. So I am testing, I'm trying shrubs in my shade garden, because I think in addition to ferns and hostas, it will be nice to have some shrubs and something that offers more height and variation in this garden. And I can always add hostas and other shade perennials around this bed as well. And I plan to create like a little pathway in the middle here to just walk out into my backyard. So I think I'll work on those 2 pathways next year, but I just wanted to, you know, put in these couple of foundation shrubs, and they are almost symmetrical on both sides, just to offer a little bit of interest and height, and to test out to see how these shrubs will do in the shade. Almost like it does get dappled sun, mostly morning and some evening on the other side, but I think they may be okay in this spot. So, but another thing in this location that's tough is there is a lot of root competition, so that's another thing I have to watch out for and dig, and I had to kind of dig several times to kind of see what would be a good spot for these, just because I hit a lot of roots in this area. So just something to keep in mind. And gardening is really about trying out different things and seeing what works for your garden and your soil. So I think I'm going to try putting these 4 in here, and once I'm done planting, I will show you what this area looks like. And I'll walk over and I'll show you where I planted the Silverleaf Dogwood that's in the ground as well, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is where I planted the Silverleaf Dogwood. It is looking really good in this spot, and it's adding a nice halo of variegation in this dark corner here. It will get dappled sun through the day. Mostly west facing evening sun, as you can see, and some dappled sun in the morning as well. So I think it will be a good spot for this, and I think with its size and its spread and its arching, you know, characteristic over here, it's going to look really nice in this spot. And there is a lot of hosta action and hellebores in front of this. So as these things grow and mature, it's going to fill out and look really nice in this corner. And I have a maple tree here as well, so I'm trying to again see what's going to work with this maple tree and work around it and see what plants can grow and thrive in this situation. So that's also a good tip I would like to give you, is that if you feel there is a spot in your garden which is a little bit difficult to grow, this is a good time to go out and get some shrubs that are on a really good discount and price and try them in your garden and see if they will thrive, and they'll surprise you. Sometimes, you know, the things that you were hesitant to put because they were super expensive and you don't want to fail with it, in the fall when you do find it for a good price, you want to try it out and see, and if it works, you can, you know, it's going to be a win-win situation. And I find that most times these plants will survive and come back the next year, and if they are not thriving in this spot, give it some time, and if you feel like they are not going to make it, you can always dig it up and move it to a different spot in your garden. And that's what I've done. I did plant some limelights in the back over there, where I had to remove them this summer and move them to a different spot, and I planted some native 9-barks there because now I am going to test with those shrubs and see. They are supposed to be hardy, so they might be better suited for that location as opposed to a limelight hydrangea. So sometimes you may want certain plants in a location, but the condition may not work. So that's a good thing to try this time of the year. Try putting in a couple of different shrubs and see if they take and work in that spot, and that's what I'm doing. I am struggling with the shadier spots and locations under my trees, so I'm slowly starting to put in different things and testing to see what is going to work in this space. So I'll get the other Summersweet, Ruby Spice Summersweet, and the Little Henry Iteas in the ground, and I'll give you one last look at what that area looks like and show you. So here the plants are in the ground, and I have given them a good water. Really excited and happy that they're in the ground, and I think they're looking really nice. It just has started to make this little empty spot come to life. And again, this is the Ruby Spice Summersweet. It's also called a Clethra, and I can't be more excited to plant these in the garden. I've given them a good soak, and because they're on a bit of a downhill, I have created a little bit of a moat so that the water can stay and hydrate the shrub and help the roots settle in. And I haven't really used any soil amendments or any transplant fertilizer or any of that sort, because it's really late in the season and I just want them to settle in and adapt to this new area, and I'm really excited. And the other thing that's good about sweet shrub is I think it blooms on new wood. Sorry, I don't think it's called sweet shrub, it's a Summersweet. So the other thing that's good about it is it blooms on new wood, so you can give it a prune in the spring if you need to control the shape, or you don't like a certain branch that's coming in your way or any of that sort. But where I've planted these can just grow and do their thing here, and I will probably just remove anything that's dead or, you know, damaged, like this little branch here that's dangling and it's damaged. So I would probably just remove things like that. But overall, I like the upright shape of this shrub, and it grows really upright, so I think it'll be a nice welcoming shrub to enter my back garden, and really sweet smelling. So no matter where I'm sitting, the scent is going to fill the air in summer. So I really like it, and I just wanted to show you some new shrubs that I'm putting in my pot shade garden, and I hope you found this video useful. Please click the like button and let me know if you have these shrubs in your garden and what you love about them, and subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thanks so much for watching, and have a beautiful day in whatever part of the world you are in. And I'm going to go spend the rest of my day enjoying this beautiful sunny day here with my little champ, and we're gonna probably go for a walk. So till we meet next time, Thank you so much for watching.